A plaque will be placed in front of the Treasury Building on Independence Square, Port of Spain, to acknowledge the proclamation which marked the abolition of slavery in this country. In 1834, the Emancipation Proclamation was read on August 1st by Governor Sir George Hill. The formerly enslaved, except children under the age of 6, were declared to be apprentices for 6 years. 4 years later, on August 1st, 1838, the African slaves in this country were officially free. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley made the announcement of the ornamental tablet at today's Emancipation Day celebrations.
You say we meet here every year in this occasion. You say you want a plaque on this building. The plaque is to say that this was the place where the proclamation was read. And that makes this place special and important. I say we do that. I say we must do that. I say I think the minister knows that next year, God willing, when we meet in this place, one of the acts that we will do is to commemorate and look at the plaque on this building that marks the spot where our proclamation was read.
The Emancipation Day celebrations continued with cultural performances at the Lij Yasu Umwali Emancipation Village at the Queen's Park, Savannah. It was there that the chair of the Emancipation Support Committee, Kafra Kambon, said today was a victory for Africans, as the Prime Minister was on board with the idea to have the plaque at the Treasury Building. But he said there is also a need to rename Oxford Street to Kwame Ture Street, as the civil rights leader has done a lot for the liberation of African people living in Trinidad and Tobago.
Because the Prime Minister made it clear that when it comes to the Yoruba Village Monument, he is for that. And when it comes to the historical landmark at the Treasury Building, he is for that. So we know there's a victory on two fronts. He did not mention Oxford Street, but we all have to remind him that Oxford Street has to become Kwame Ture Street.
He also added that the Deputy Mayor of Port of Spain, Hilan Moraine, said the council approved the erection of a monument at the Yoruba Village Square, but he said the decision to have something physical at the Treasury Building was long overdue.
That in Trinidad and Tobago, the site at which the Emancipation Proclamation was read on August 1st, 1834, there's nothing to mark that. We pass by what we know as the Treasury Building, and we have no sense whatsoever of its historical significance. So that is the other consideration before the City Council now.
Meanwhile, the chairman of the Emancipation Support Committee has called on the government to remove the records of people who have been charged for the possession of marijuana when legislation to decriminalize marijuana comes into effect. He made the remarks at the Emancipation Day celebrations on Independence Square.
I am happy with the Prime Minister here this morning to call not only for the legalization, but also to wipe out the records of all those who have been convicted for possession of the herb. Because that will be an ongoing injustice if it is not corrected now.